The Earth is warming. The average global temperature has increased about 0.8 degrees Celsius, or 1.4 degrees Fahrenheit since 1880. This may not seem like a big temperature bump, but think about it this way. It takes a lot of heat to make all the world's oceans, lands, and atmosphere 1 temperature degree higher. So where is all this heat coming from? Our ultimate source of heat is the sun, and about 30% of the sun's rays are reflected back to outer space. This is called the albedo effect, and surfaces on Earth that glisten, such as glaciers and snow, contribute to the albedo reflection of the sun's rays. However, about 70% of the sun's rays are absorbed by the Earth, mostly absorbed by land and ocean, and the rest absorbed by the atmosphere. As things like rocks, soils, and water are warmed up by the sun, they radiate infrared heat energy, which also enters the atmosphere. There are several gases that are naturally in our atmosphere, such as water vapor, carbon dioxide, and methane, that absorb heat energy from the Earth. And, like a blanket, these gases block the escape of a lot of heat from the Earth's atmosphere and instead radiate heat back toward the Earth. This is called the natural greenhouse effect, and thank goodness we have these gases because without them, the Earth would be quite chilly. So why has there been a 1 degree temperature increase? Since the dawn of the Industrial Revolution, people have been artificially adding large loads of greenhouse gases into the atmosphere, directly by burning fossil fuels, and indirectly by cutting down forests that absorb carbon dioxide. Since today we have more greenhouse gases than we did 200 or even 20 years ago, more of Earth's heat is absorbed by the gases in the atmosphere, and some of this heat is radiated back to Earth, increasing the temperature. So how does this rapid temperature increase change life on Earth? Those species that are adapted to cold are having a hard time grappling with increased temperatures. On mountains, animals are climbing higher and higher in altitude to stay cool. In water, fish and zooplankton are becoming smaller in size so that they can stay afloat and not sink as waters are warming. These changes in climate are changing the lives of plants and animals, but there is another group of living things that are being affected too: microorganisms. Microscopic bacteria, fungi, protozoans, and viruses are constantly around us, even though we can't see them. They're in the air we breathe, in water, on our skin, in our stomachs, on everything we touch, and we wouldn't be able to live without them. Soil microbes are important for plant growth. Indeed, healthy soils have a lot of bacteria and fungi that help recruit plant food like nitrogen and phosphorus. They also help plants withstand heat and drought and protect against insect pests. With warmer temperatures, we are seeing drier regions in mid and low latitudes, which include desert areas. And these deserts have dust storms each year that cause the soils and microbes to travel thousands of miles to a new location, leaving these desert regions barren of microbes. People who live in these areas then lose their crop and worry about having enough food. Warmer temperatures also are increasing rainfall and snowfall. This is happening in high latitude regions in the world. Flooding is on the rise and leaving places damp. Fungi love warm, damp areas, and so homes and buildings that are flooded typically face mold and mildew problems afterward. These molds are stinky, and they can also cause asthma and allergic reactions in some people. So how do we save our good microbes and get rid of our bad ones? Talk with your family, friends, community, and governmental officials about land and water management to help prevent erosion of soils. Plant trees. Trees hold on to soils and absorb carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. If you live on a farm, rotate your livestock and animals from one pasture to the other to keep grass growing. Build rock gardens to slow rainfall water before it enters into streams and washes out the stream banks. If you live in a wet region, it's still great to have rain gardens to slow storm water. Also, keep your home clean and dry to prevent mold buildup. Mold spores are in the air and can land on anything damp in the house. Climate change is happening, and we are facing these changes together. Although we can't see them, there are greenhouse gases in the air, and people are artificially adding more gases than there are naturally. The gases are absorbing heat from the Earth and radiating some of that heat back to us. Our atmosphere is warming in most places on Earth, and we are seeing changes in weather and climate patterns. Animals, plants, and microorganisms are all changing their lifestyles, and if we look closely enough, we people are too. So let's work together to better understand our Earth. There is so much more to learn.